Okay, today folks, we have an absolutely amazing video for you. It is something I haven't actually tried. I've never actually cooked it before, but I saw it online and I instantly wanted to eat it. I do live in Canada and there's no place that serves these, so the only way I'm gonna have it is if I make it myself. So here we go. Birria tacos with a nice dipping consomme sauce garnished with white onion and cilantro and lime juice. I can't wait. You guys, this is the recipe. If any of you haven't watched yet, this is the one you gotta watch, all right? Well, let's stop wasting time talking about this and just dig right in. Okay, so the ingredients that we're going to need to make these birria tacos is obviously our dried chilies. We have Guajillo chilies and we have our Ancho chilies. Normally, this is definitely made with chile de Arbol as well, but I couldn't find any, so we're just gonna not put them in, which is okay for our family because we also don't like super spicy food. And that's where most of the spice is going to come from. On top of that, we have a diced white onion, some tomato, 1 teaspoon of peppercorns, 5 or 6 large whole cloves, 2 teaspoons of cumin seed, 4-ish bay leaves, 2 teaspoons of oregano and thyme. We have a bunch of garlic cloves, a cinnamon stick, some coriander, which I didn't have whole coriander, so I'm using the ground, 1/4 cup of white vinegar, 2 teaspoons of sesame seed. To finish the tacos, we also have, of course, lime and coriander leaf or cilantro. We have white corn tortillas and some beef stock instead of water, just because I prefer my food to taste better. So why not use stock instead of water? For the meat, we are using 2 pounds of chuck that I've already cut and salted. Normally, you would also use beef short rib, but it's very expensive right now, so I got beef shank instead. This is going to be just as good, and it also has the bone with the marrow, so that's going to add a lot of richness and flavor to the broth, the consomme, when it's done. So to get this started, we need to get our chilies rehydrating in some water. I'm also going to boil the tomatoes so I can get the skin off them because I prefer it without the skin and the seeds. So we're going to do that now. We'll get these in the water, which is just right here, ready to go. So we'll put our chilies right in there and we'll drop our tomato in there. And we'll just let that cook for 10 or 15 minutes until it's all softened up. And then we can clean the chilies, clean the skin off our tomatoes, and get that blending. In the meantime, I definitely want to get the meat seared, and it helps if you turn the heat on first. So we'll wait for this pot to heat up. Once I've got this off the heat, I'm gonna put the pan on and we'll toast our spices. We'll add it to the blender with this stuff to make our adobo. Okay, so our oil for the meat is heated up. We've got our chilies rehydrating in some water, maybe another 5 minutes or so. So I'm just gonna start searing the beef off so we can get that process going. So I did take the meat out about an hour before I was gonna cook it, and I did salt it already. So it's been sitting here salted for about an hour already. You definitely wanna make sure that you get some paper towel and pat that down before you start cooking it. The reason you want to pat your meat down and get all that water off is so when you put the meat in the hot oil, instead of steaming the water and kind of boiling your meat, it's going to make it so you get a really better crust that on your meat for that Maillard reaction and more flavor. You just want to make sure you get an absolutely incredible sear on your meat, just like that. It looks absolutely amazing. It's going to be so full of flavor. Okay, so our chilies and our tomato have been boiling for about 15 minutes-ish. So we're going to take those out. Those can go right in here. And we need to clean up our chilies. Going to turn that down to medium and get a pan heating up so we can toast our spices. I'll get these tomato skins out of here. And we'll just keep that liquid when we blend up our chilies. So we're just going to cut the end off. So I'm just going to clean the chilies out. I find it easier to run it underwater just like that. Now, if you do want your tacos to be really spicy, obviously you could just leave all those seeds in. Remember to not overcrowd your pan or your pot, whatever you're searing in. Don't overcrowd it. No reason, just don't do it, or I'll come over to your house and kill you. Okay, we've got all our chilies cleaned up, so we're gonna take them over to the blender. Just pop them in there. Now we're gonna toast our spices. So you wanna just get your pan, medium heat. And this doesn't really take very long at all. So we're just gonna put our cinnamon in there, our spices, coriander, oregano, thyme, bay leaf. Now you just want to toast them until you can start smelling it, which in this case is going to be right away. Once you've done that, you're just going to put it in here. Okay, we're just going to toast our garlic as well. I'm just toasting them dry, just like that. You just want to toast them until you start getting a little bit of color like that. And we'll put those in here. Put our sesame seeds. These will toast very, very quickly. We'll put that in there. Try and do a better job getting it in the blender. Okay, then we're just going to put a little bit of our liquid that we boiled our chilies in. Maybe a couple cups. That looks almost done. Good, that was supposed to go in here too. Oh, we'll put the vinegar in there now. Okay, so we've got all our beef seared off. We got our adobo made here with our chilies. We got our beef stock ready. I'm just gonna go in with the onions. Start cooking those. Make sure you get all that fog scrape up off the bottom of that pot. That's all just absolute flavor. I tasted our little adobo, and without the chili de arbol, it definitely doesn't have that spice to it. So I think I'm just gonna put a little bit of chili in with the onion, just because I do want to kick it up a little bit. So we're just gonna add a little bit of crushed red chili pepper in there. Just gonna add the adobo now. Make sure I get most of it in there. Put our meat in. And we'll just add our beef stock. Oh no, that's perfect, see? It's just covering all that meat. So we're going to get a lid on that, and we're just gonna wait until that comes to a boil, and then we'll put it in the oven and we'll cook it for about 3 hours. And don't forget to get all those juices from the beef in there. Also, we're just gonna add some salt. I didn't really put any in before. I did salt the meat, so there was some from that. I just wanna make sure that the consommé is gonna have enough salt. And then after it's done, when I pull the meat out and shred it, we can taste the consommé and then adjust the salt after that. All right, well, it's almost at a boil. It's very close. We'll get that in the oven for about 3 hours at 325. Our meat is guaranteed to be super fall apart tender at that point. Okay, so we'll see you in about 3 hours. I don't know, go do something. Clean your house, pet your cat, do something, come on. Come on.
3 hours later.
All right, so the timer went off. It looks like our beef is ready. Let's take that out, have a look. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty good. So now we just have to take the beef out and we're gonna shred it up. We'll add some of the consommé back to the beef. We'll pour some into a dish and then we'll get the tacos going. All right, time to shred. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh. The easiest way I find to shred the meat is to use 2 forks, just to shred it like this. And you could shred it really fine, or you could shred it like a medium, or you could leave it in big chunks if you prefer. I like mine shredded pretty well, a little bit of chunks. Okay, we got our meat shredded all up, so it's looking fantastic. And if I could smell right now, I bet you it would smell absolutely amazing. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the consommé, just put it back into the meat, just to moisten it up. Oh my God, that's gonna be so good. Mix that up. Okay, so we got our meat out, and we pulled it apart. We're all ready to make our tacos. I just want to taste the consommé to make sure that we got the flavor we're looking for. It tastes pretty good. I think maybe just a touch more salt, not even that much. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this into here for our dipping sauce. Okay, we got our cast iron frying pan really hot. We're ready to rock and roll. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our white corn tortillas, and we're just gonna dip them in here, and they're just gonna get that grease from the top layer of the consommé all over the taco shell. We're gonna pop it in our pan. and fry it up. We'll fry it on one side first, then we'll flip it over. Then we'll get our cheese and our meat inside, and then we'll fold it over kind of like a quesadilla. And that's how we're gonna build these tacos to start with. So I have here a Oaxaca cheese. It's a white melty cheese, just like mozzarella or queso or quesa or whatever. You could use any of those, but this is traditionally the cheese that we're gonna use for this, so might as well. We're just gonna throw some meat in there. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, and then we're just gonna fold it over like a quesadilla. We're just gonna let that fry. Crispier, it needs to be crispier. Oh yeah, now we're getting some color on there. Oh, that looks so good. Give a flip. Oh yeah, there's the color. Oh yeah. Check the crispiness. Oh yeah, it's all there. That is a whole ass taco. Okay, once we got our tacos done, we're just gonna open them up. Oh my God, that looks so good. We're just gonna throw a bit of fresh white onion in there, and we're gonna squeeze some lime juice. We're just gonna garnish a little white onion, cilantro, a couple lime wedges. And there we go, our Birria tacos with our consomme dipping sauce. We're ready to rock and roll. I can't wait to dig in, so let's just end this video now and get it done.
So here, I am the taste tester that you all know and love, who not often, says what is wrong with my father's food. And I'm gonna test the Birria tacos now, which look so good and so greasy. So if you're looking for a healthy thing to eat, I would not suggest these. But if you're looking for something good to eat, this is gonna be so good, guys. So I'm just gonna take an end. Oop, stuff's already leaking out. I'm gonna dip it in the consomme and try to get maybe some of the stuff in there. Oh my God. And then just take a bite. This is the best taco you'll ever have. I am not joking. It's a little bit, greasy, but it is so good. I have never had a better taco before. I love this thing. It's got so much cheese and the meat, and I like cilantro personally. If you don't like cilantro, you could use some other kind of green garnish probably. I like cilantro though, so that tasted amazing. The lime with a little bit of acidity to help with it's very fatty, so the acidity really cuts through all that fattiness, that richness. And then just the taste of the meat, it's been cooked, it's seared, and it just adds such a strong and amazing flavor. And with this fried tortillas, it's so good. This is so good. Please make this. With that, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with this dish in my opinion. It's amazing. A little messy, but that's fine, tacos are. So please make this, it's so good.